Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Rita Marley has died at the age of 74. This story takes the lead in our 1026th edition of Caribbean Perspective for Tuesday, 12th January 2021. Details when we return. Welcome back. Alpharetta Constantia Rita Marley is a Cuban-born Jamaican singer and the widow of Bob Marley. She was a member of the vocal group The I-Threes, along with Marcia Griffiths and Judy Mowat, who gained recognition as the backing vocalists for Bob Marley and the Wailers. The reggae nation is in mourning. Cuban-Jamaican singer and songwriter Rita Marley, popularly known as Lioness of Reggae, wife of legend Bob Marley, passed away on Friday, January 8, 2021. However, the cause of her death has yet to be revealed. Rita Marley was married to Bob on February 11, 1966, and she became a singer for the group's backing vocals. They have 6 children together, including Cedella, Ziggy, Stephen, Sharon, Stephanie, Sarita Stewart Marley. She converted to the Rasta movement after seeing Haile Selassie visiting Kingston on April 21, 1966. After Bob's death in 1981, Rita Marley recorded a few albums under his name with some success. She also performed the backing vocals for the song Woli Il Darik for the Algerian singer of Ray Music, Khalid, in her album Sarah. In 2004, she published a biographical and autobiographical account titled No Woman No Cry, My Life with Bob Marley, written in collaboration with Hetty Jones. It also had its own foundation, which worked to reduce poverty among people in developing and underdeveloped countries. Soon after sharing the news, reggae fans commented and sent their condolences to the Marley family for the loss of their mother. In other news, a technician previously attached to West Shore Medical Private Hospital has been relieved of his duties after he made comments on Facebook referencing a particular patient in the care of the hospital. In a statement issued on Sunday, West Shore Hospital says the hospital, along with the Advanced Cardiovascular Institute and the Cardiovascular Associates Limited, have all launched investigations into the incident.
A statement from West Shore Medical Private Hospital this morning indicated that it will no longer be employing the services of one cardiac technologist following comments made by the technician on Facebook about a patient under the hospital's care. On Saturday, screenshots started circulating of comments made by one Ramnanan Permanent on his Facebook account, in which he lamented about having to return to the hospital to tend to a patient. In the post, Permanent said, quote, "Imagine, while crawling in the traffic on my way home from work, I had to do an about turn and head back to the hospital to look after him." One of his Facebook friends then replied, "If that was me, I would have sabotaged my own car. Car can't move, can't see about nobody." To which Permanent said, "Nah, I have to look after everyone equally. I am not a politician." Another Facebook user then asked, "How we feeling? Much better?" To which Permanent responded, "He was pain-free when I left the hospital." At no time did Permanent name the patient. However, it coincided with the Prime Minister being admitted to West Shore Medical Private Hospital on Friday. In the statement, West Shore sought to make it clear that Permanent was not a doctor nor an employee of the private hospital, but in fact an employee of Cardiovascular Associates Limited and a part-time independent contractor for Advanced Cardiovascular Institute. The statement added, "An investigation into the matter has been initiated by all 3 companies and will be conducted in accordance with full due process, following which whatever action deemed necessary and appropriate will be taken." West Shore notes all 3 companies are governed by a zero-tolerance policy regarding breaches of patient confidentiality. Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
In the meantime, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley was Sunday discharged after spending almost 2 days in the hospital. Rowley, who was admitted to the West Shore Medical Private Hospital in Cocorit after complaining of feeling unwell on Friday evening, was given the all-clear to return home around 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. Guardian Media understands that he was received by his wife Sharon and left the facility in his official vehicle with a police escort. Rowley did not stop to speak with the media, who were camped outside the facility since his admission, but waved as his motorcade was passing by. In a statement posted on its Facebook page shortly after his discharge from hospital, the Office of the Prime Minister, the OPM, indicated that he was resting at home. We thank all those who sent messages of well wishes and kept the Prime Minister in their prayers, the statement, which received hundreds of comments and shares, said. In another release issued by OPM on Saturday, it stated that Rowley underwent an angiogram and corresponding angioplasty.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
In another item out of Port of Spain, Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith is looking into the presence of police officers in a soca music video, which calls on people to congregate in a backyard jam, as there will be no carnival this year. The Commissioner is condemning the message, and he is also warning prospective attendees and organizers of virtual fetes that the TTPS will be in attendance as well. Renessa Cutting reports.
It's the exact opposite of what you should be doing during a pandemic, and Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith is expressing disappointment in the irresponsible rhetoric.
It would be appropriate if it is that all persons who have some degree of substance that can influence individuals, that influence should be made in a positive manner and not to try to cause further problems.
But he notes each person is responsible for his or her individual behavior, especially the two officers who were seen in the music video.
When you see the police, tell them get something to eat right now in the back. The police interacting with members of the public and being involved in a music video, and this has happened on several occasions. It is all based on how it is you are representing yourself in a video. I am looking into it for these things to take place. It must get my requisite approval. It certainly did not. I wasn't made aware of this at all. So it is actually being investigated.
The Commissioner will also be keeping an eye on so-called virtual fetes this season, as the TTPS has been reliably informed that some persons intend to capitalize on the ventures.
It has come to our attention and persons are going to use this as an opportunity to make extra money, where they're going to basically subcontract, where they're going to click on, get online, have a massive television screen, massive speakers, probably have doubles and corns for whatever, and then charge persons to try to enter, and then so that it's a mini carnival fete in someone's backyard. That is totally unacceptable.
The top cop is reminding persons that by opening a private space to members of the general public to congregate in numbers more than 10, it constitutes a breach of the public health regulations. Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
Moving a little further north to Antigua, Prime Minister Gaston Brown says the upward trend in COVID-19 cases in Antigua and Barbuda and other Caribbean countries is to be expected.
We had anticipated that the winter season would see an acceleration in the transmission of COVID cases. And despite our best efforts to control COVID, the reality is that there is likely to be an increase.
Speaking on his weekly radio show on Sunday, the Prime Minister says scientists had predicted the increase. He calls on the public to redouble efforts to curb the virus's spread by adhering to the COVID-19 protocols.
An increase in transmission means that there's an increase in risk of our people contracting COVID, which calls for greater vigilance.
Still on Antigua, 6 women made history on Sunday as the first graduates of the University of the West Indies Five Islands campus. Teachers by profession, they have attained postgraduate diplomas in education. ABS's Ragib Aparicio was there and filed this report.
The University of the West Indies Five Islands campus opened its doors in September of 2019 to 148 students. The student population has since risen to over 300. On Sunday, the campus held its first graduation.
It is from educators and education that all other professions come. It is on the back of teachers that this country has been built.
The 6 graduates who attained postgraduate diplomas in education are all teachers, all employed in the public service, and are all women. Valedictorian Lorna Richards says the graduates began their journeys at the Antigua State College Teacher Training Department before transitioning to the 4th landed campus. The end goal, she says, is to make a difference.
We won't be able to educate everyone, and some of our wins may not even be academic. I teach PE, and my greatest win last year was getting a well-formatted and typed email from a student.
Beaming with pride at the momentous occasion was Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, the Honorable Gaston Brown.
We have no regrets over the investment we made in the Five Islands campus. It was an investment in the upliftment of our people and of our nation. There can be no cause more noble, no pursuit more fulfilling, no accomplishment more joyous.
Also in the history books and the UE alum in her own right, Marshall A. Jarvis says her children have been with her every step of the way.
When I was doing Clayville, my undergrad, they were very small kids. They were part of it because they used to stay up with me late in the nights and stuff like that. And they would sleep on the floor while I'm studying up. They are super proud. It's like my degree is their degree. My success is their success. After all, I'm a mother. I do it for them.
Last year, Leigh Jarvis navigated uncharted waters as both a mathematics teacher and a student.
When the pandemic hit, it came at a time where we were close to doing our practicum. There were times when I used to email my students or call one of them and say, listen, we have a group. Y'all have to be in my Zoom class because I have, the officials coming in. And they're our best behavior, even though it's Zoom.
The graduates are encouraging other teachers to take the opportunities being made available to them to seek further development.
If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you.
Rakib Aparisi reporting for ABS News.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.